Okay, last thing here. We need to choose appropriate measures when we have a skew left, skew right, or a symmetric graph. Okay, and what it says right here is when the graph is symmetric. Okay, when it's basically the same on both sides of our middle, we use the mean as the best measure of center. Okay, we use the average to describe the center. And also we use the standard deviation to describe the variation. Okay, remember variation is how spread out the data is from the average. When we have a skew, either skew left or skew right, we don't use the average anymore, okay, because most of the data is on one side or the other. We're going to use the median for the measure of center. And then we're going to use the 5-number summary to show how spread out our data is. And remember from last section, our 5-number summary is the high number, the low number, and then our quartiles and the median. Q2, Q3, and our median. I'm sorry, Q1, Q3, and our median. Okay, so a quick example then. If we look at these graphs, the first graph is professional football players when we have years of experience. Okay, and we look, and if we draw our little curve over here, we can see that the tail is on the right, so we know it's skewed. Okay, it's skewed to the right. So for our measure of center, we're not going to use the average when it's skewed. Okay, we're only going to use, if we look at this right one, we have kind of symmetrical here. Okay, so when it's skewed to the right, we're going to use our median for the measure of center. And when it's symmetrical for our measure of center, we're going to use the average. The average. Okay, and then for when it's skewed, so the left one, when it's skewed for our 5-number summary, we're going to use, or for our variation, we're going to use our 5-number summary. Okay, 5-number summary. And on the right one, when it's a symmetrical graph for our variation, we said we were just going to use our standard deviation. Okay, so I'll just abbreviate. We're going to use our standard deviation there. So depending on the skew, that's what we use for our measure of center and our measure of variation. That's it for this unit. Okay, thank you for taking notes. We will talk more about this in class tomorrow. Have a good rest of your night.